Here are 10 things that you missed or forgot about in Call of Duty Zombies. Number 10 is going to be Dr. Monty's music career. Now, if you've ever played the Zombies map Revelations, there's a pretty obscure little side Easter egg that you might have completely missed. Once you get yourself a perkaholic, head over to some of the perk machines, specifically the OG4, Juggernog, Quick Revive, Speed Cola, and Double Tap. And instead of the classic perk jingles that we all know and love, you're actually going to hear Dr. Monty singing them in a different version. Except it's not really that good at all. He completely butchers the words and he forgets some of the abilities to some of these perks that they actually give you, and it sounds like he's just really winging it in the studio. It's one of those bizarre little details Treyarch threw in that you'd probably miss unless you were really paying attention. Here's a quick little sample of the Juggernog one.
Something to make you feel faster. Wait. Voracious. Is that better? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
They're pretty funny, but maybe if Dr. Monty ever returns into the storyline, we can get a whole album from him. Number 9 is going to be the Moon Mask Glitch. Now yeah, I feel like this one's really forgotten, as BO3 Moon seems to be the one that's played more than the original version nowadays with the Chronicle remaster. But back in the original version, there was this crazy co-op glitch that lets players survive on the moon without a spacesuit, like completely fine, no helmet, no problem. Here's how it worked. When the game starts and you teleport up to the moon on round 1, you grab a suit, then immediately jump off this ledge right here. It's just the quickest way to go down and to bleed out. Next round, you respawn, but this time, don't grab a suit and just do the same thing. Jump off and bleed out again. Now, here's where the magic happens. While you're spectating, have your teammate take off their helmet just for a second and put it right back on, and then survive the round. And when the next round starts, boom, when you come back, you're not wearing a mask, and for some reason, you're totally fine, no damage, no oxygen warning, nothing. This is super useful, especially for hacking things in areas that have no oxygen, like this door right here, since normally taking off your mask in these areas would be a death sentence. And if you combine this with the hacker duplication glitch, which allows multiple people to pick up the hacker at the same time, you're pretty much just set up for a much easier game on Moon. It's totally broken and totally forgotten. Number 8 is going to be the Pack-a-Punch Loose Change. So most players know on some selected old maps, you could lie down in front of perk machines to snag a little extra cash. Originally just 25 points, but then it bumped up to 100 points in BO3 and beyond. And this only worked for perk machines, not crafting tables, Wonder Fizz, or Pack-a-Punch or anything like that. But here's what most people totally forget. There's one Pack-a-Punch machine in all of Call of Duty Zombies that will actually give you loose change, and it's the BO2 version of Origins. That's right, if you lay down in front of the PAP on Origins, you'll get a free 25 points, just like a perk machine. No mods, no tricks, it's just built into the map. But it only works on the Black Ops 2 version of Origins. As you see here, in the BO3 version on Chronicles, nothing happens, not a single point. Why did Treyarch put this in on BO2 and not the remaster? No clue. Maybe they forgot it was even there to begin with, like it's an accident. But either way, it's just one of those super tiny little hidden things that almost nobody remembers, unless you grew up grinding BO2 Origins religiously. Number 7 is going to be the World at War BIOS hidden message. If you played World at War Zombies back in the day, you might remember the 4 main characters' bios that they had in the menus here. And it was just a few lines of backstory and some facts about them. But here's the crazy part. Nobody noticed until like 7 or 8 years later when Jason Blundell hinted at it in an interview. If you go back and take the first letter of every sentence across all 4 bios, it actually spells out a hidden message. And it says, "The doctor wants the ultimate power." And in Richtofen's bio, you just get one word, bastard. Yeah, so it was a full-on tease of Richtofen's grand scheme way before Black Ops 1 even launched. This was hinting at his betrayal, his obsession with power, and ultimately how he'd take control of the Moon Pyramid device and become the puppet master of the undead, setting the stage for Black Ops 2 Zombies. It's a perfect example of Treyarch planting seeds way ahead of time, and most of us had no idea. Number 6 is going to be the jet gun ammo percent. Alright, so we're going to be diving back into Transit, the map that gave us fog, bus rides, and of course, the jet gun. Now, if you know, you know. The jet gun is one of the most infamous wonder weapons in Zombies history. You have to collect 4 parts scattered all over this gigantic fog map, build the thing, and then if it overheats, boom, it explodes into pieces on the ground and you gotta go and build it all over again. Now, the jet gun does come with a little heat gauge on the weapon itself, and it's kind of vague, but it at least shows you can learn how to use this thing effectively without blowing it up. But what a lot of people forget or just never realize is that there's actually a little hidden ammo percent indicator tied to it, and here's how to see it. If you pull out the jet gun and enter one of those denizen portals, when you come out on the other side, you'll notice a little percentage meter pop up on your HUD. That number actually shows how close the jet gun is to overheating, and once it hits 100%, it's toast. But here's the catch. The meter disappears if you switch weapons or if a denizen jumps on your head, so unless you're planning to teleport and never touch anything else, it's not exactly practical. Still, it's a weird little mechanic that Treyarch snuck in here, and most players have never noticed it. Honestly, kind of fitting for the most frustrating wonder weapons ever made. Number 5 is going to be the Eisendrache trap glitch. So, we got a glitch that stayed hidden for years. Literally no one talked about this glitch until 7 or 8 years after Eisendrache came out. And this one involves a trap located near the double tap machine here. And when you activate it and it kills zombies, it actually multiplies them. Yeah, like literally creates more zombies from the ones it kills. Now this might sound useless at first, but here's why it's actually cracked. If you pop something like a shopping free or extra credit on round 1 and rush to turn on the power, you can activate this trap right away, and when it kills zombies on round 1, it starts spawning even more, letting you rack up a huge horde without flipping the round. And if you repeat this a few times, you can get more and more zombies to spawn in, and you can get all the bows done, start the Easter egg, and knock out most of the steps, all the way until the second wisp step where you actually have to flip the round to round 2. It's insanely helpful for low round runs, because you can just get so much done without seeing round 2. But here's the catch, if you abuse this too much, you might actually trap yourself in round 1, like no joke. There'll be so many glitched in zombies still counted by the game that the round won't end unless you use a round robin gobblegum, or somehow manage to clear them all out, which can feel basically infinite. Still, for how useful this is, it's wild that this glitch went unnoticed for so long. Number 4 is going to be repeating the Mr. Peaks Easter egg. This one's going to bring us to Mauer der Toten and Cold War Zombies. And I know most people know about the Mr. Peaks Easter egg on this one, as you have to pick up 6 of his body parts scattered around the map, and it will teleport you to his nightclub, where you survive 3 waves of zombies, and then you get to walk away with a loot chest as a cool reward. But the thing that I didn't even realize is that you can repeat this Easter egg multiple times in the same game. And you don't have to go and collect his body parts or anything like that. You actually just have to wait 15 rounds, and after those 15 rounds, if you go look at the nightclub from the outside here, you can see Mr. Peak sitting up in this window, and all you got to do is shoot him, and it will teleport you back to that nightclub where you can survive another 3 waves again and go ahead and get yourself another loot chest. I always knew about this one, but I didn't realize that you could repeat it, so I thought that was a pretty cool one to just throw in here. Number 3 is going to be the donut trip mines. This one's going to take us back to Shadows of Evil on BO3 here. And I'm sure a lot of people actually still remember this one, but I wanted to put it in here because I feel like a lot of people still don't remember this one. But you can actually upgrade your trip mines on Shadows here. You can go ahead and buy them on the wall around the corner of the boxing gym right here. And all you got to do is get a single kill with them on the 3 different Holly's cream cake hearts around the map. There's one next to the stamina machine right here. There's one in the Footlight district right across from the perk machine right here. And then there's a third one in the canals chilling right here on this corner. All you got to do is get 1 kill with a trip mine at each cart next to it. And once you get that third one done, you're actually going to see the donuts come flying out of the trip mine. And now that it's upgraded, it is more powerful, but when you throw it on the ground, you can actually see that it's a donut, and it's kind of funny. And when it does explode and kill a zombies, you're going to see more donuts flying out of it. So, I don't know, just a fun little side Easter egg on here that they threw in, so I thought that was pretty cool. One other thing that I did want to point out that I did actually notice while doing this is that by each of the Holly's cream cake carts, you'll notice that there nearby there's an advertisement for them. So by this one, there's this little flyer on the window here, and then the one up here, you can see the neon sign right above it, and then even this one in the canals, you can see back here in the background another neon light for it. I don't know if that was Treyarch just kind of hinting, yo, like there's something with these cream cake carts, a little side EE, or if it's just coincidence and they're all over the map, but I just thought that was kind of cool too. Number 2 is going to be the Der Eisendrache newspaper. This is one of the most hidden visual changes in Zombies history, and it takes place on Der Eisendrache. And this is a weird one. So if you make your way into the church, you're going to see this newspaper on this desk right here, and the headline is titled Huge Parade in London. And this can actually change throughout your game. If you go do the side quest where you turn on the clock with the Ragnaroks and stop it at 935, and you can go back in time to get the plunger melee weapon, the little side quest. And you know how you can upgrade your plunger by killing a panzer, then it's going to be temporarily on fire so you can one-hit panzers and it's stronger on zombies? Well, if you get kills on zombies while it's temporary upgraded, it's going to track those kills, and you can go back over to the newspaper and the headline's actually going to change. It's going to change to Reports of Zombie Attacks in London, Officials Not Confirming. And so this will actually change a third time if you go and upgrade it again and get some more kills with that upgraded plunger to Zombie Attack Hits the Heart of London. Yeah, and I'm not even 100% sure what all this means, but this is just a crazy cool detail that Treyarch decided to throw in here. And to me, it seems like once we entered this universe and it became overran with zombies, you can almost see that that world is now getting infected with zombies, and you can see the progression of an event in London that seemed normal at first, and then a zombie outbreak happened, and then it hits the heart of London, getting even worse. So I just thought that was just a really cool little detail that they put in here. They put so much love into these games, man. For the number 1 spot, it's got to be the Pablo's spleen lore. So I think most of us remember the yellow snowball Easter egg on COD der Toten here, where you can get Pablo to actually upgrade your snowballs to the yellow snowballs, making them one hit on zombies. And the Easter egg is pretty easy to do. You just got to hit his little puppet friends around the map with snowballs, and there's 4 of them. And then you fill up 3 blue fires with souls, and then you can see the container that has Pablo's spleen in over here is actually cracked, and then you can shoot it, grab his spleen. You got to make sure it stays cool by going and sitting in the cold water before you bring it to him so it doesn't spoil. And then you can shoot right up to the lighthouse and give Pablo his spleen, and he's going to send down the upgraded snowballs for you. And this is a pretty cool Easter egg and whatnot, and the snowballs are actually useful as they're one hit. But the Easter egg is not why I put this in here. It's the lore behind it is why I wanted to put it in here, and the excellent writing that Treyarch actually does. And for the ones who think that Pablo is just some random character, we actually get information on him all the way back on the original Call of the Dead Zombies map on Black Ops 1, where there are radios around the map that give us some information, especially on some of our characters and their backstories a little bit here, as we know that this is a Siberian outpost of Group 935 where Dr. Edward Richtofen did work on their bodies and used them as test subjects to try to make super soldiers. You know, we get information about Nikolai, the Russian one, and his vodka problem, American Marine Tank Dempsey, and the Japanese samurai Takeo Masaki. And in this radio here, actually, you're going to hear Richtofen go on about another 4th test subject, a Mexican test subject, one that he actually removed his spleen, and he thought he was dead, so he just threw his body out to the snow.
I think I might have killed the specimen from Mexico. His spleen is on the floor and he's not moving anymore. I can verify with certainty, however, that the barrier is not located in the spleen. Dr. Continue no matter the cost. I wonder what he might think of the experiment. Drop that! That's my spleen!
We never got his name, and there was always this mysterious 4th picture here on the wall with the other characters on Kino der Toten that I believe to be that was Pablo Marinez. And like I said, we never got his name all the way until on Black Ops 4 on Togdertone. He was revealed again that he wasn't actually dead when they threw his body out to the snow. He was still alive, and he's just been surviving at this outpost this entire time. And then he ends up being one of the key major components to the story, which is just excellent writing in my opinion. Not only did they bring him back for the story, surviving on the top of this lighthouse this whole time, but they even incorporated a side Easter egg of you retrieving his spleen and giving it back to him. None of it makes sense if you missed the Call of the Dead radios, but this is just another prime example of Treyarch's writing, of taking a forgotten piece of Zombies history and bringing it full circle to the end of the Ether storyline, and making Pablo, a character that we never got to play as, one of the most important characters in the storyline, and the way we just get to interact with him on TOG was just so much fun. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this.